The Gospels tell us much about Jesus. We learn about his teachings, his miracles, and his message of love. But what about the men who followed him? Who were these disciples who left their lives behind to join his movement? The Gospels offer glimpses into their lives. We see them as fishermen, tax collectors, and ordinary people. But their stories extend beyond these familiar narratives. Early Christian writings and traditions provide additional insights. These sources offer a more nuanced understanding of the disciples. They reveal their human struggles, their moments of doubt, and their unwavering commitment to spreading Jesus' message. These lesser-known stories offer a valuable perspective. They humanize the disciples and make them relatable to us today. Consider Peter, the fisherman. The Gospels depict him as impulsive and often speaking before thinking. He is quick to profess his loyalty to Jesus, yet he also famously denies knowing him 3 times. But Peter was more than just his mistakes. Early traditions suggest he was a charismatic leader. He possessed a deep love for Jesus. Then there's Matthew, the tax collector. He was a despised figure in his community, associated with greed and Roman oppression. Yet Jesus saw something in him and called him to be a disciple. Matthew's story reminds us that Jesus' message was one of radical inclusivity. He welcomed everyone, regardless of their past. These glimpses into the disciples' lives reveal their humanity. They were not superhuman figures, but ordinary people who struggled with their faith. The disciples' faith was not without its challenges. They grappled with doubts, fears, and uncertainties. Imagine their confusion as they tried to understand Jesus' teachings. They witnessed his miracles. They heard his pronouncements about the coming kingdom of God, yet they still struggled to comprehend the full scope of his message. Their doubts were not a sign of weakness. They were a natural part of their human experience. The Gospels record their questions and challenges to Jesus. They were not afraid to express their uncertainties. This honesty makes their faith all the more relatable. They teach us that it's okay to question, to doubt, and to seek understanding. The crucifixion of Jesus left the disciples devastated and confused. They had placed their hope in him as the Messiah. They believed he would usher in a new era. His death shattered their world. The Gospels describe their fear and despair. They scattered, unsure of what to do next. Then came the resurrection. The news spread like wildfire among the disciples. At first they struggled to believe, but as they encountered the risen Jesus, their despair turned to joy. The resurrection became the cornerstone of their faith. It transformed their understanding of Jesus' mission. They realized that his death was not the end. It was a triumph over death itself. Section 5, the early church, forging a path through persecution. After the resurrection, the disciples were filled with a renewed sense of purpose. They felt compelled to share Jesus' message with the world. They traveled extensively, spreading the good news of Jesus' resurrection. They established small communities of believers. These communities became the foundation of the early church. Their mission was not without its dangers. They faced persecution from both Roman authorities and Jewish leaders. They were seen as a threat to the established order. Their message challenged the religious and political powers of the day. Despite the risks, the disciples remained steadfast in their faith. They endured imprisonment, torture, and even death for their beliefs. Their unwavering commitment inspired others to join their movement. The stories of their martyrdom became powerful testaments to the transformative power of faith. Peter, according to tradition, was crucified upside down in Rome. Paul, a later convert, was also executed in Rome. These early martyrs understood the cost of discipleship. They were willing to pay the ultimate price for their beliefs. Their sacrifices helped to spread Christianity throughout the Roman Empire. The lesser-known stories of Jesus' disciples remind us that they were human beings. They faced challenges, wrestled with doubts, and experienced moments of weakness. Their stories resonate with us because they reflect our own human experiences. They teach us that faith is not about being perfect. It's about trusting in God, even in the midst of our imperfections. The disciples' willingness to embrace their humanity makes their faith all the more inspiring. They did not shy away from their struggles. They allowed their experiences to shape their faith. By exploring the untold stories of the disciples, we gain a deeper appreciation for the complexity of their faith journey. We see them not just as revered figures in Christian history, but as individuals who grappled with real-life challenges. Their stories encourage us to embrace the complexities of our own faith journeys. They remind us that it's okay to ask questions, to have doubts, and to seek understanding. The disciples' experiences teach us that faith is not a static concept. It's a dynamic journey of growth, discovery, and transformation. The disciples' stories continue to resonate with us today because they speak to the enduring power of faith, the importance of perseverance, and the transformative nature of belief. Their examples inspire us to live lives of purpose, to stand up for what we believe in, and to share our faith with others. As we delve into the untold stories of Jesus' disciples, we uncover hidden treasures of faith, resilience, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Their stories remind us that we are all on a journey of faith, and that even in our moments of doubt and uncertainty, we can find strength and inspiration in the examples of those who came before us.